over some stuff that helped change my life, and I think that it could be really beneficial for you guys as well. And let me see if I can get the audio on here. Yeah, if you don't have a pen and paper, I recommend going and grabbing one. I'm going to try to cover a lot of different stuff here in a short amount of time pretty quickly for you guys. And really the main question that we're going to be answering is going to be like, how do I start changing my life? How do I start this journey to start doing something great with my life, or just get in a different situation? Because maybe you're not around the people that are helping you get to where you want to go. Maybe you're, feel like a lone wolf a little bit, and you're trying to make all these adjustments and get somewhere different. But right now, things are tough. Things aren't easy. The path isn't always paved, right? And kind of, it's like the less beaten path, right? So when we go through this process, it isn't like everybody's going to be supportive. It isn't like we're going to have all the tools and resources in front of us. What we have to realize is it's a process. And I'm just going to tell you guys a quick story about how I've been able to do what I've been able to do, and then kind of give you the framework behind it so you guys can go out there and implement the same things into your life, right? So 12 months ago, literally like almost to the day, I was in college and I had an internship, and I set myself up to get a job. And if you guys do know my story, sorry for repeating it, but I'm just going to run through this really fast. And I knew that I didn't really want to get a job one day. I knew that I wanted to do something different, right? So I was just looking around, and I was searching online, and I was watching Brad Lee's YouTube videos, and I was watching his podcasts all the time. And I was just constantly trying to get more information on how to do different things, right? How to learn how to sell, how to learn how to make money in different ways. What I realized is I didn't know everything I needed to know to be able to get to where I wanted to go, right? I didn't have all that. I had the information of how to get a job. That was it. And so I realized that the people around me were out there, and they were making, $40,000 at the entry-level position that I was at. And I realized that's not where I wanted to go. So I started to try different paths out. I tried network marketing, affiliate marketing. I tried to start my own clothing business online. I couldn't figure out what to do to be able to get out of my situation, but I was just trying different stuff. I ended up joining Real Financial, ended up doing pretty good. I met Andy because of it. I met Brad because of it. I'm in a really good spot now, but I wasn't always, right? So I learned how to sell over time, and that was really tough for me. And I'm going to take it one step further and go way back. Before that, for 2 or 3 years, I was listening to Brad's podcast. And the reason I started listening to Brad's podcast is because I got in a car crash. And I realized that I was broke and I couldn't buy another car. So I was really, really upset. And I literally Googled, how do people make money and how do people get rich? So what I found was there's this whole community of people out there teaching other people how to be entrepreneurs, how to make money, how to be great at sales, and this world of people that I never knew existed, right? That was closed off to me when I was growing up, right? And so what I wanted to do was start learning from these people. So for about 2 years, I listened to about 3 podcasts a day, and I read books every single month, just trying to figure out what these people knew so I could start to implement it in my own life, so I could start to get some different results, right? As time went on in my Real Financial journey, now I'm able to sell at a high level. I'm building a team, and I'm in a great spot financially that I wasn't in 12 months ago. 12 months ago, I literally had no money in my bank account. 11 cents. I looked at the picture last night. 12 months ago. And I took out a loan for my first batch of leads, because we have to buy our leads at Real Financial, for $1,500, and I put it all into the leads that I bought, and I had to make money. And that's how I got started in this. And what I want to go over with you guys is kind of the mentality, or like the frame that you can put behind this to do this for wherever you are now and wherever you want to go. So I'm going to break this down. Okay? Number one, the first thing that we're going to do, and the first thing that we want to do, is figure out where you want to go. Like, what is the result that you're after, right? Like for me, it was just don't be broke. Like, get out of the financial position that I'm in right now. Like, find out how to make money, because I knew that I wanted to make more money than the $40,000 a year job that I was lining myself up to get. So like, how do I make money? Like, figure out how to not be broke and not have to worry about paying for my expenses every single month. The second thing is you have to plan it out. Like come up with a system for you, and whether it's the position that you're in now, whether it's a new opportunity, whatever it is, you have to start to think ahead. What am I actually going to do? What's going to drive the results that I need, right? And then once you start to do this, I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty here in a second, but you have to start to understand what's driving the results and what's getting you the results that you're getting now, okay? Because then we can make some adjustments on that stuff. After that, we're going to get new information and learn consistently about our journey, the opportunity that we're in, the business that we're in, because the amount of information that we know right now has gotten us to the results that we have right now. Like, we can all agree on that, right? So like, Gian, if you're like, yeah, man, like I'm doing great, I'm making 10 grand a month, it's like you know enough to make 10 grand a month. Imagine if you knew double the amount of information about your industry, the business that you're in, selling, being able to communicate with people at a high level, you would probably make 20 grand a month. And we don't sneeze our way into that, right? So what we have to do is we have to continue to learn. We have to continue to develop, because we are the only thing that is causing us to make the amount of money that we make, especially in the sales game, right? Now, the third thing that we're going to want to do, or I guess that is third. The fourth thing that we're going to want to do is never stop moving in that direction. Like, I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care how crappy you feel. Like, it doesn't matter. You're going to continue to take steps forward even when it sucks, even when the results aren't there, even when you feel like it doesn't make a lot of sense. You have to just keep stepping in that direction, because if you are never going to stop, it is inevitable that you will find that success and that you will eventually turn over the rock that has the results on it that you want, right? I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. And you guys may have heard this, you may have not, but I love this story. It's about Jack and Jill, right? And this is a story that my mentor told me, and I have to give him credit because he's the man. His name's Nick. And he told me this story the other day. He said, Jack and Jill, this time they didn't go up the hill, but, it was back in the old days, and they were carrying buckets of water from, they had to walk a mile every day, get a bucket of water and bring it back, and they would cook with it, they would clean with it, they would take baths with it, whatever, right? And Jack and Jill, every single day, they went and they walked a mile and they brought a bucket of water back to their village and they used it. Now, Jill did that for a year and Jack did that for a year. The only difference between the two is that Jack brought back one piece of bamboo with him every single time he went. So every single day for 365 days of the year, Jack went over, grabbed a piece of bamboo, and he brought that back with him. Jack, every single time he came back, he would lay this piece of bamboo next to the one he got from before. And so over time, over 1 year, Jill was still walking, carrying the water back and forth, right? Because she didn't have any other option. That's just what she did every single day. She didn't know any better. Jack, though, had laid one piece of bamboo every single day. So over time, this mile had been covered with pieces of bamboo. And Jack now had a filtration system where the water from the stream was pouring directly into the bamboo, and it eventually got all the way down to the village. So he never had to walk up to get the water anymore. The point is that it didn't happen overnight. Jack had to carry one piece of bamboo back every single day. And so over time, it wasn't like Jack was seeing these crazy results every single day and Jack was getting this crazy turnaround and this crazy difference in his life every single day. But it was these small steps in the long vision for Jack that allowed him to be able to lay a piece of bamboo every single day to create something that now worked for him. Now he had something in place that was truly working for him, right? And if you think about this, instead of you just being in the job that you're in right now, the sales position that you're in right now, wherever you are, if you sell cars, you sell solar, it doesn't matter. Wherever you're at right now, you know the amount of information that you know is getting you the results that you have, right? So if you never learn anything else, you're going to be just like Jill. In 1 year, you're going to be in the same spot, doing the same thing, looking for the same result. You're going to be walking up that hill, trying to get the bucket of water, and you're going to be coming back to your village every single day. There's never going to be any difference. If you think ahead like Jack did, and you start to lay a piece of bamboo every single day, you start to listen to a podcast, you start to read a book, you start to get on these calls and take notes and implement the things that are taught. You start to hang around some different people. You start to do different things today. If you have that small steps, long vision attitude, eventually things will be different. But it will never be different if you don't start to think and act different today, right? But it is this laying of bamboo daily, long term, that eventually gets you the system that will work for you. When I say system, you can compare that to your own attitude and the amount of information that you know. Because now, for me, like when I was learning how to sell, I sucked. I went 2 months part-time not knowing how to sell. I didn't sell anything. 5,000 calls, no sales, right? I eventually got to the point where now I know how to sell. Now I know what I'm doing and I'm confident, right? But I would have never gotten that if I didn't go through that learning curve, if I didn't lay that bamboo every single day. I was getting something out of that. That all wasn't for nothing. I learned, I took so much from that, right? I started to be different. I started to implement different things inside my business. Now, I want to break these down a little bit for you guys. So the first one's figure out what you want, the end goal, right? Like, is it financial freedom? Is it making 20 grand a month? Like, is it to get a raise, to get a new position in your store, in your business, to build a team, like whatever it is, right? You got to know what it is so you can start to work towards it. Most people in life float around and they don't end up going in any direction because they don't choose to work towards anything, right? And what ends up happening is you're drifting. And if you guys know Napoleon Hill, I love Napoleon Hill. I studied a ton of his stuff. He likes to talk about drifting and then definiteness of purpose. They're complete opposite. When you have definiteness of purpose, you're moving towards something. You're definitely like going in a certain direction. I'm choosing that this is going to be my mission. This is what I'm going to do day to day. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is where I'm going to go. Definiteness of purpose. My definiteness of purpose is helping other people get started in the industry that I'm in, providing them opportunity, training them, making sure that they have all the tools and resources to be able to be massively successful, sharing my opportunity with people, getting on here with you guys, sharing this stuff with you guys, just continuing on this journey day after day. And I'm not as blown up or as big as I want to be yet, but I know that it's a process. You got to get to 400 subscribers on YouTube before you get to 25,000, right? You have to climb that ladder. It's a slow race. Same thing with our income, same thing with our goals. But you have to start with knowing where you want to go. The second thing that we're going to be talking about is planning out, right? Right now we all have, if you know, we're all in sales, let's just say. I'm just going to use this as an example. If we're all in sales, I know that it takes for me about 100 calls for me to be able to make a sale on the phone. Okay, cool. That's great for me to know. Now I can say, okay, maybe if I can put 100 calls here, 100 calls here in my day, I can get this result, right? Since I know my numbers, I can plan out my day so I can start to expect results inside my business. At the beginning of the month, I'm going to say, hey man, this is going to be my goal for April. This is where I want to be. I know that I need to put at least this many hours into my activity so I can achieve that result. Once you start to know what you're doing every single day is providing you, you can start to plan and map out where you want to go and the results that you want to get. Okay, so it's important that we know our numbers. We know what inputs are going to drive our outputs, right? I'm going to tell you another story. Guys, there's three different people in time, right? We got cavemen, we got people like 500 years ago, and then we got today's age, right? 500 years ago, people were going about, making toast because everybody likes toast, everybody likes bread. People were going about making toast over a fire. It's cavemen, right? They didn't know any better. So they were going and they were putting bread over the fire, but there's all these uncontrollable variables. The wind, it's like kind of blowing the flame around. Sometimes the bread caught on fire. They were wasting food. It wasn't the best way to do it. 500 years ago, people were using candles, things like lighters. Lighting a stick on fire is a little bit easier. They got a little bit smarter. Still a lot of uncontrollable variables. It wasn't the most simple thing in the world. In today's day and age, we have a toaster. Think about that. We just put the bread in, pop the thing down, and it's magic, man. I don't really get it, but it just pops out toast. I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to do any of the work. And that's what you want to create, is a toaster. You want to create a machine where I put the bread in, man, and I just put the thing down and I do the work, and I leave it in there for 45 seconds and it pops out toast. That's what you want to create in your business. I want to know my 100 calls is going to get me one sale. I want to know that my 25 outbound text messages is going to drive one customer coming in my store. Like, once you can understand what is driving the results inside your business, it is a machine. It is consistent. It doesn't matter what external variables happen, because I know on average, even if I have a higher day today and a lower day tomorrow, at the end of the week when all this stuff evens out, there's an average that's going to come across, and I'm going to get the results that I want long term, right? So create a toaster. Build that toaster for yourself inside of your business. Know your numbers. Know what's going to drive the results that you're looking for. So then you can do more of that stuff and avoid everything else. Okay? The third thing, like I said, is get new information and continue to learn and get more educated. Like I said, the amount of information that we know today is why we are getting the results that we're getting right now. There is no other reason. I can point the finger and blame everybody else for my circumstances and the situation that I'm in, but the reality of our situations is We are where we are because of the things that we know and the things that we do every single day, right? I know how to sell insurance. I don't know how to sell insurance 10 times better than I do now. If I did, I would be doing it, right? I don't know how to sell, 50 cars a month. I've never done that. But if I did, I would have the information to be able to sell 50 cars a month. If I was selling 100 cars a month, I would have different information than I did if I was only selling 50. I would be doing different things, right? So we have to continue to learn, because if we're not where we want to be right now, that means we don't have the information to get to where we want to go yet. So I need to continue to plug in, continue to ask questions, continue to grow, continue to develop, because I'm not where I need to be. Because it's internal, then external. When I change on the inside, and when I start to make different decisions and input different things into my business, I will start to get external results. And that's how this works. It's not external. You don't go for all the external and hope that things look different. No, you make different decisions on the inside, and that's going to cause different results to happen inside your life, right? So we have to develop, we have to keep getting better, and this is exactly what I did when I got started in the space that I was in. I was watching trainings, watching videos, I was asking questions, I was getting on calls with people who were doing it. I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything about what I was doing. I was just trying it. People were telling me what to do, and I was just getting in there and going and getting after it. Today, now I'm the person that's telling everybody else how to do it, because I've done that so many times. I've asked so many questions. I've asked all the people about how everything works. And now I'm the educated one just because I've gotten all that information. And I'm going to keep doing that and getting to new levels. But this is how this works. You have to get more information. You have to keep plugging in, keep learning. And if you stop, you will stop at the experience level that you're at right now and the earning income capacity that you have right now. Right? I want to keep feeding that bucket, filling that bucket up. Imagine it's literally a bucket. And on it, it's a clear bucket, and there's all these different marks on it. It says like $5,000 a month, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month, or whatever your goal is, right? Maybe it's 10 cars a month, 20 cars a month, 30 cars a month. And you got to fill the bucket up with knowledge, information, and experience and decision making to be able to get it to the level that you want it to be at, right? So it isn't just going to happen. We're not going to sneeze our way into being super successful. It takes activity, it takes effort, it takes time and energy. And it takes, like I said, like it's not gonna happen overnight. But it's these small steps. It's the Jack and Jill story. It's the laying the bamboo every single day. I'm moving one step closer, a little bit closer every single day, and then until boom, one day you wake up and people are like, "How'd you get there?" And you're like, "Well, I just did this for 100 days." And people are like, "Yeah, but like seriously, like, what did you do?" And you're like, "No, I literally just read 5 pages of that book every day. I got on trainings every day. I asked questions. I started to implement the things that I was learning. And I just did a little bit every single day." Right? Bite-sized chunks. And it's got to be stuff that you can commit to. Long term, guys. And then the last thing is just never stop moving. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be highs, and there's going to be lows. We have to understand that through all of this, it's like the stock market. You ever see the stock market go up and down, and it's all crazy, and like if you zoom out really far, like the week to week, the month to month might be crazy. Huge dips, huge upswings. If you zoom out like 30 years, 40 years over, it's always going up and to the right. The important thing is that you're always going in that direction no matter the result. No matter if you got hung up on, no matter if you're having a down day, a down week, a down month, it doesn't matter. Long term, there's this crazy average that happens when you're consistent. And coming back to the Napoleon Hill thing of definiteness of purpose. If you choose to definitely go after this one thing and you will not choose anything else, it does not matter how much temporary defeat you come across, because you're going to be continuously going after this direction anyway. It doesn't matter if I couldn't make a sale for 4 weeks. I would still show up and do this the next week. Like, it literally doesn't matter for me. So like, I know that, like, you know, you guys ever like, I guess like, you know, I'll use this example. If you've ever like seen a movie where like people are fighting and like a guy gets like punched in the face a couple times and like he just like, they zoom in on his face and he just smiles. Like that's got to be you in business. That's got to be you in your life. Like, you're like the crazy guy who just like, yeah, man, like bring it on. I'll take the punches. Doesn't matter. Like, it's not going to affect my decisions. Like, I'm still coming back for more. Like, I'm showing up again. And when you have that attitude on the days when it isn't pretty, the days that it isn't fun, the days that it isn't exciting, that's when you see the most growth, right? And you're starting to stack these bricks and you're starting to lay that bamboo every single day. And you're like, man, even though I didn't have the actual like numerical or financial results I wanted this week, I got a lot out of that. I number one, I stuck to my word, which is awesome and super important for ourselves. But number two, I was able to learn a ton just from having the activity. The more that you do, the more that you learn. The more that we learn, the better decisions we're going to be able to make. The more educated I become, right? So super, super important that we're continuing to move in that direction no matter what the results are, guys. And guys, the reason that this stuff works so well is because when you're extremely clear on what you want will start to stick inside your head, right? And I'm going to say this, and it might be a little bit, kind of out there for some of you guys. I hope it's not, but what we focus on is where we will go, right? And like, that's such a general, vague statement. I'm going to try to break this down so you guys can understand it. If I tell myself all day long, man, I suck at making phone calls. Man, I'm just not good at this. This just doesn't work. My brain is going to find ways to prove me right, okay? Think about this. If I sit here and say, I'm the best at this, I'm the top dog, no one can beat me, like I'm going to get this result. Every single day I start to just think that and tell myself that inside my own head. My self-talk starts to become that. What happens is your brain's going to start to find ways to prove you right. Your brain starts to work for you instead of against you. And it doesn't happen instantly. It doesn't happen overnight. But as you choose consciously to start thinking different, as you choose consciously to start viewing these things differently day in and day out, your results will start to change. Your natural thinking will start to change. And this will become simple for you. It will just become another day. You're just laying another piece of the bamboo. It doesn't even matter. People are like, man, did you make any sales today? I'm like, nope, but I moved closer to where I want to go. Like, people are like, look at you funny. They're like, what are you talking about? It's like, dude, that's like that's good. You want people to kind of look at you funny. But the point is, like, you need to start to change the way you're thinking and to change the information that you have and change the decisions that you're making, because that is what has led us to where we are today and gets us all the results that we have. So I want that to like be the most important thing that you guys take away from this. I mean, that's really like the framework that I wanted to go over, those 4 steps. I'm going to go over them one more time. If you guys haven't written them down, you guys should. And we should live by these day in and day out. The first thing is figure out what you want, the results that you want, the end goal, where you want to be. Second thing is figure out how you're going to get it, plan that out, find out what the numbers are, implement some structures and strategies to be able to get you there. Because what we're doing today is getting us the results that we have today. The third thing is going to be get new information, learn to get more educated so we can continue to gain experience and fill that bucket up so we can start to make better decisions, put more information into the decisions that we're making, get better at communicating so we can help more people get the product that we offer, and eventually be able to increase our earning capacity from learning more. And then the fourth thing is never stop moving in that direction. Have that definiteness of purpose. If you guys have not read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill or Think and Grow Rich, awesome books. If you guys just Google Napoleon Hill on YouTube, there's a 2-hour clip of him literally speaking about his mastermind effect principles and the master keys of success. I've watched it like 25 to like 50, probably like 100 times. I don't even know. I used to listen to it every single morning as much as I could before I started working. And it's just good information because he talks about this higher level thinking that we have inside of us and how we can achieve anything that we want. And I think that's super, super powerful, and it's just really, really great perspective. So guys, these are my 4 pieces, my 4, kind of keys to be able to go out there and change the results that you're getting in your life, change the things that are around you, change the external results after we change these internal things that are coming. I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'm going to jump. I got a call to jump on here in 5 minutes. Danny wanted me to jump on, cover for him today because he's doing a training again. But guys, if you guys haven't, I'm going to send my YouTube channel in here. You guys can plug in with me on YouTube. I'm talking about this stuff every single day. I make a video pretty much. And, if you guys want to plug in, feel free. If not, all good. I still love you guys anyway. And I'm on social media too. If you guys want to follow me, I'll follow you guys back. Again, really my goal is just to get you guys the information that works for me and help you guys be able to get to where you want to go, because, this kind of thinking and this kind of, difference in decision making has really changed my life for the better. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If you guys ever need anything, just hit me up. We're all here to help at the Elliott Group, and whatever we can do to put you guys in a better spot and share with you guys what works for us.